Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. It's a bright but cloudy day. We had some weird stuff last night, but it's gone, so I can't show you. I was all excited. Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. I was all excited when I opened the curtains this morning because there was white on the roof of the garage, but it turned out, but hardly anything on the grass, but the sidewalk and the driveway were covered. Very thin coating of this white stuff. And Dennis said it's really weird stuff because it's not snow. Don't move it with your foot when you can scrape it, but so it's some kind of ice, but it's not really slippery because it's very rough. He encountered it on his way to bed last night. Hold on, I gotta let Maisie in. There are so many reasons to hope that Pearl's appointment with her surgeon tomorrow goes really, really well. Many of them more important than I won't have to keep getting up and down to let Maisie out, because we'll be able to have the dog door open and Pearl will be able to go outside if she wants. Poor baby. All right. We're going to go with the Mary Kay today because it matches my sweater. I'm being matchy-matchy today. This is very wet. Very glossy. Comes up off on my cup really easily, and it's gone long before the day is over. So if you're looking for sort of a long-lasting, put it on in the morning, don't think about it. Ugh, that hair. It is not for you. But it feels yummy. Moisturizes your lips. Good color. But it comes off on your cup. Good morning. How are you? We had a fire last night. Yesterday when we walked the dogs, it was 33 degrees, so it wasn't, this is Fahrenheit, so it was freezing. So it wasn't bitter cold. We've had much colder days. And it wasn't even that windy, although there was a breeze. But it was so cold. It was really, really damp, and it just kind of went through you. And I had my woolies on, so it just went through you. It's like, oh, today would be the perfect day for a fire. And I was right. It was a lovely, lovely fire. And so, but shortly after the fire really gets going, Dennis leaves the room. But he's looking for a good reason to leave the room. He wants to go play on his computer. He doesn't want to sit around talking. I don't know why it should surprise me that my lips are uneven, because my whole body's uneven. My one thigh is a whole size bigger than my other thigh. I mean, I am just lopsided. One of my boobs is bigger. I mean, really, what do you think? Is that better? Not better? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And it's not going to last long enough to make any difference. So I'm going to stop now. But yeah, my one side is bigger than my other side. I guess my left side is bigger than my right side. So like when I was way back in the olden days before I started vlogging, right before I started the vlog, we were in Lake Tahoe, California, skiing. And I had to rent boots because my boots don't fit me from 20 years ago. And so I'm like, no, you gotta make it fit the left foot, because it's got to go over my leg, and my left leg is much bigger. He says, oh, that's interesting. Most people, it's their right. I'm like, no, not me. It's the left. So anyway, But that's my left lip seems smaller than my right lip. But it, you know, it can be a problem when you're buying close-fitting pants. It's very noticeable that my thighs are different sizes. My feet are the same size. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. So we had a beautiful fire last night, and that was lovely. I actually knit a little bit on my trove. I knit a couple of rows on my sleeve. I haven't knit in days because of my arm. And it really made me sad to think about because, you know, my arm still hurts. And it's not because I've been knitting. It's because I've been living my life and I am right-handed. And so it's really hard for me not to go reach with my right hand. I mean, I have to be very, very conscious. Like when I'm putting away the dishes and stuff, to use my left hand to do these reachy things with heavy stuff in them. In my hand, you know. Excuse me. And I was thinking last night while I was knitting, it's really a ripoff if my arm is so sore because I'm living my life that I can't knit. Why can't I just save all that for the knitting and try, you know, just live my life left-handed? Because then I could knit. I need to watch Aquila knit. She is a left-handed knitter. I don't know exactly what that means and how it works, but I'm a continental knitter because of that very reason. Because when I started knitting, I was doing lampworking, which is making glass beads on a torch. And that's the reason that the channel is called Flame and Fiber, because I was doing both at the time. And, you know, I wanted something, well, I wanted to be able to buy the beautiful yarn, and I wanted to do something while I was watching TV, and I started knitting, English style, what I call English style, throw, whatever you want to call it. And I realized that I was using all the same muscles that I use in my lamp working. I'm like, I don't think this is going to work. So I went on YouTube and found continental knitting and taught myself to knit continental. And I've been very happy that I did. I find it much easier and less work than English knitting, or whatever you want to call it. But I was doing a lot of knitting there for a while. I mean, I was just really pounding it out, you know, for a few years there. And apparently I wore something out. I might continue to pretend it has nothing to do with knitting and do a little knitting every day, because I really missed working on my trove. It really brings me joy to do that knitting, and it's so it makes me so happy that it brings me joy. Because I had such low mojo for so long. So I knit a little while last night, and then we watched a couple Veras, and then Aura and Vicky went upstairs, and I read a book, the second book in the Andy Carpenter series that I told you about the other day. A couple days ago, I put the author's name in my down bar. You could find it. Rosenfeld, something like that. But if you go to Barnes & Noble, bn.com, barnesandnoble.com, and just put in Andy Carpenter, you will find it. He's the character. That's the character's name. I can remember the character's name because, you know, you read it the whole way through the book, and eventually it gets in. The author, you don't even look at. I mean, it's when you're reading an electronic book, you encounter the author's name when you first start the book. But After that, you don't even see it, because when you're reading a hardback book or a physical book, you pick it up and you can see the cover when you pick it up, when you put it down, whatever. So it might filter in. Those aren't things I retain well, but it might filter in. But in an electronic book, you buy it, you click on it, you maybe see the cover page, and then you never see that again. You never see the author's name again. Even if you stop, you read it every night for 2 weeks, because when you click on it, it just opens up wherever you were. You don't have to look at the cover, and you know what I mean. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But the character's name is Andy Carpenter. Oh, that's not hurting me. How fun. I had pain patches on yesterday. Maybe I just took them off this morning. Maybe they help. They still had their stuff on last night, because I can remember laying there saying, "What is that smell I'm smelling? What is that smell?" And then I realized it was my salon paws patches, which smell like Vicks Vapor Rub. Vicks Vapor Rub from when I was a kid and had a cold. My mom would put it all over my chest. I wonder if it did anything. I bet it didn't. Smell of my childhood. So that was yesterday. I made popovers for our dinner. Vicky cooked. She made a Kenyan chicken dish, which was delicious, which I Xeroxed, put in our mains folder. And yeah. Otherwise, I didn't really do very much. Sat around and talked, read my phone. I'm not very ambitious these days. I did knit a little, though, and that made me feel good. Even if I just knit for 20 minutes a day, get a little, boost to my joy meter in my life to be able to knit a little bit. Anyway, so Vicky took the shea butter, and I don't know what she's going to do with it, so not wasted. Somebody said that it has like natural latex in it, and perhaps I'm allergic to latex, but I can wear latex gloves without any problem, but I've never tried latex on my face, so I don't know. Dennis thought it might be a contact response. But I reacted the same way I react to scents. My sinuses clogged up, my eyes got puffy, I got a headache. I didn't get a rash or any reaction on my skin or anything like that, so I don't know. Another lazy day today. I did talk to my brother yesterday. I have some executrixing that I need to do, and I just need to spend a few minutes working on these things. And it's work day. Oh, and I have to mail the Uggs out. I heard from Laura, and I'm sending those Uggs out, and maybe I'll do it today. At least I'll find the box. A box to put the box in. And, I'm not that good about it. Now that I feel like I organized it, now I, have to, do the work and go to the post office. What are you going to do? But that's taken care of. And, yeah. So I might, I say that and then I don't do anything. I spend all morning reading my phone, talking to you, and then, and I don't have the next book, but, so we'll see what happens. I just don't see myself knitting too long. I really would like my arm to get better. It really needed that low mojo months for my arm to get better, so. But I've been knitting some for, well, I knit my road trip cowl in August. And I've been kind of knitting since then. I finished that. I knit the Montrealer, which I haven't finished the hood yet. I think I need to talk about that, and you know, it's got mull it over for a while. I don't know. Maybe I have to see a weather forecast that says it's going to be 0 degrees, and then I'll be okay. Fine, I got to do this hood. There's not a lot of work left, but I have been knitting more, and then I knit quite a bit. In December with my Advents. I had 2 Advent projects going at the same time. And Christy got her hat, and she showed it on her vlog, on her floss tube this week. She looks very cute in it. So there was a lot of knitting. Well, I mean, that hat was the equivalent of 2.5 or 3 full skeins of yarn. So I was knitting. And then I have the scattered petals, which I'm still in the middle of. And I may go with the way Carol is the one who gave me the idea for the pattern, and she's doing it too. And I decided I was going to do a short one, but the short one is it's so stiff. It does look like a neck brace collar. So I might just keep going and do my best to try to have a longer one that goes to 60 pattern repeats instead of 30. So, but that's you know, that's next to me. But right now, I want to knit on that trove. I have, you know, I'm at least halfway through the trove because I have 1 sleeve done, and you know, I'm about 4 or 5 inches below where I split for the sleeves, because I like to do the sleeves before it gets too big and bulky, and you know, so once I finish the second sleeve, I'll still have knitting to do, and I think I'm going to just keep knitting until I'm going to make this trove longer than the first trove. I'm going to just keep trying it on and see how long I want it, but I'm really enjoying it. Loving the yarn. This is all made from yarns that Megan dyed over the years. I think this is 2 Advents worth of minis from Megan, because I used a little bit of her yarn last year in my hat, but for the most part I didn't use it because I just felt like I wanted to do something special with it, and I am really excited about doing this trove with her yarn. I'll work on it a little bit today, and I'll show it to you tomorrow. I know I have new people. Hi to the new people. I have some new people. I mean, kudos to you guys coming in the middle of, you know, episode 1630 something today. Like, thanks for joining us. You're very, very welcome here. Maybe I should start being a little more informative. So I said I gave my shea butter to Vicky. Vicky is my sister-in-law. Dennis is my husband. Dennis's sister. Dennis's mom lives with us. Her name is Aura. O-R-A. Aura. Funny enough, Mary Ann's mother-in-law's name is Aura too. I had never heard that name before. As you know. So anyway, so Vicky's taking the shea butter from yesterday. If you watched yesterday, I mentioned that I didn't, you know, like the whole thing with my allergic reaction, and I threw it away. I literally took it out of the garbage and washed it off and gave it to her because she thought she might use it. But anyway, Vicky is my sister-in-law, and she is visiting and goes back tomorrow. So she's been here almost a week, and she lives in Southern California, San Diego area. Dennis has another sister, Kim, who lives more locally. She's only about an hour from us, and she comes regularly to hang out with her mom and us. So you'll hear me talk about Kim. But then I have a friend, Kim, in Florida, who I sometimes talk about too. So it gets very confusing. And it was very confusing for a while. My daughter, Christy, I had a sister, my older sister was also named Christy, but she passed this past summer. So, you know, I used to have to say my daughter, Christy, my sister, Christy. Not that many characters on my vlog, and yet we do have some duplicate names. My son, Jason, also lives about an hour away here, and Dennis's nephew, Jason. So there's a lot of duplicates. I don't know how that happened. I'm so sorry. Boring. But anyway, welcome to the new people. You're very welcome here, and this is how it goes. I do sometimes show knitting if you come here via the fabric, the fiber arts. But I am having trouble with my arm. Oh, and I'm a beauty channel. Yeah, I forgot that part. Hey, but this is, oh, I can't. See, now I go grab it with my right arm. This is my props for my beauty channel. This is my lipsticks. So I keep it here on the table. So it's handy because I'm sitting at my table. As you can see, I still have my Christmas decorations up. They are going to be up at least for a couple more weeks because Dennis's aunt and uncle are coming. Aura's brother is coming to visit next week for a few days because Aura's 94th birthday is on Valentine's Day. So they will be here to help her celebrate her birthday. And I'm going to keep the decorations up till then. In fact, the decorations are going to stay up until like the day before Pete and Terry come back. Because you take the decorations down, they come, they clean, and then you know, reorganize the house again. I'm hoping that I can find all those, you know, my normal decorations that I packed away 2 years ago at Christmas time and haven't been able to find again. I'm hoping I find them. We are going to try to organize the Christmas stuff. I can't do it the day before Pete and Terry come because Dennis wants everything in, you know, bins in the basement instead of ratty cardboard boxes. So it's going to take a little bit of work to undecorate, but that means, I'm assuming that means we're going to take everything out of the basement, even the Christmas stuff that I haven't put out in a while, go through it. And does Goodwill want your Christmas decorations in February? I don't know. What do you do with the Christmas decorations that you're not using, but you take down in February? Put them back in the basement in cardboard boxes and then take them to Goodwill in November. We could do that. We'll see. Anyway, so my decorations are going to be up for a while. For many years, I didn't take them down till my birthday, which is in March. And as you recall, a couple of years ago, that Christmas tree stayed up all year round. It was so dusty when I finally took it down. It had been up like 18 months. Well, you know, we don't get a lot of company. And the company we get knows me very well. But it looks so bare and sad when the Christmas decorations get taken down. You know, it just suddenly looks really bare. And we have a lot of stuff. Dennis calls our decorating style Victorian clutter. So it's not like we don't have, you know, we're not minimalists by any stretch. All right, now I'm really rambling. Okay, I'm going. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please stay safe and stay sane.